Alright, let's just call it like it is. When it comes to sex, most guys would probably say, yeah, I'd love more of it. And women are over here going, but what does great sex actually mean to you? And not just physically, emotionally, psychologically, what's going on in that mystery man brain during intimacy? You want to know what men actually consider great sex? Like the kind that makes him look at you the next morning like you just walked out of his favorite dream? Let's talk about it. Most men are way more emotionally invested in sex than we're trained to admit. It's not just about the act, it's about connection, validation, and, yeah, a little bit of ego too. But in the best way. There are 4 things that show up again in the happiest, most passionate relationships, and no, it's not about being wild or perfect. It's about understanding him. Today I'm walking you through the 4 things men secretly crave during sex. The 4 things that make it unforgettable. Let's get into it. Secret 1. Frequency. Let's start with the one nobody wants to say out loud. Frequency. How often you're having sex. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, this isn't about keeping a man on a schedule like he's a hormonal Labrador. This is about alignment. I heard a guy say once, it's not that I need sex every day, I just need to not feel like I'm constantly asking for it. And there it is. That sentence. That's most men in committed relationships. It's not just the number, it's how the number feels. Imagine he wants it twice a week, but you're feeling once every 2 weeks is fine. That mismatch creates a psychological gap. And not because he's ungrateful, but because in his mind that lack of frequency starts whispering things like, does she still want me? Am I still desired? Am I annoying her by asking? For a lot of men, sex is how they feel close. It's not just stress relief or a physical urge, it's how he reconnects with you. When that connection gets sparse, even if everything else is great, date nights, conversation, teamwork, that missing intimacy starts to feel like emotional distance. I call it the condom calendar effect. Picture a calendar with a gold star on every day you two get it on. Now imagine how that looks in his mind. If there are 2 stars a month but he wanted 10, that calendar turns into a scoreboard. Not because he's keeping tally, but because he feels benched. And listen, this doesn't mean you should ever say yes when you're not into it. Real talk. Men can feel when it's performative, and that's worse. This is about honest communication and emotional awareness. A guy doesn't just want more sex, he wants more of you, connected, present, into it. If that means rethinking the rhythm of your intimacy, that's okay. You're not doing it wrong. You're learning his language, because to him, consistent intimacy feels like consistency in love. It tells him, we're still good, we're still connected, you still excite me. And when a man feels wanted, like really actively desired, that's when he stops needing sex and starts making love. Secret 2. Variety. Alright, now let's talk about something that quietly kills the vibe in so many long-term relationships. Routine. Look, I get it. Life happens. You've got work stress, meal prep, a toddler licking the dog bowl, and by the end of the night, if sex is happening at all, it's like, lights off, same side of the bed, quick wrap up before Netflix asks if you're still watching. But here's the thing. Routine lulls the brain to sleep. Especially for men. Men are incredibly visual and novelty-driven. Not because they're shallow, because they're wired to respond to newness. That doesn't mean he needs a circus act in the bedroom. It just means that tiny changes send a big message. You ever notice how even changing the location can light a fire? You're in the kitchen making pancakes, he sneaks up behind you. Suddenly this morning is different. Or maybe, instead of your usual setup, you play a song, wear that thing he loves, or just initiate in a way he's not used to. Variety. Here's a funny one. I used to joke, you don't need a Kama Sutra, just rearrange your furniture. 2 weeks later, she emails me and goes, we had sex on the floor of the laundry room, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Men get excited by the sense that you're into it enough to switch it up. It makes him feel like this part of your relationship isn't on autopilot, that you're still exploring together, that you see him. And before you go thinking this means you need a Pinterest board of acrobatic poses, not at all. It can be as simple as changing the tempo. Sometimes slow and emotional. Sometimes a little more bold. You might initiate with a whisper or pull him into the shower. Doesn't matter how crazy it is. It matters that it's different. Think about it like your favorite meal. You can love it, but if you eat the same thing every single day, even the best recipe starts to feel bland. Variety isn't about being wild. It's about waking up your senses. And men, trust me, feel that. When you shake up the routine, you're not just changing the physical act. You're signaling, I still want to discover new things with you. That's intimacy. That's adventure. That's the stuff that makes him look at you like, damn, how did I get so lucky? So yeah, don't overthink it. Just switch up the playlist, the rhythm, the room, the mood. Little changes make a massive difference. Secret 3. Fantasy. Now we're getting into the real psychological goldmine, fantasy. Now, don't worry. I'm not about to tell you to dress like a pirate or start learning pole tricks in the garage. That's not what this is about. Fantasy, for most men, isn't about shock value. It's about permission to escape reality together. Men carry around a lot of pressure in their day-to-day lives. Work, bills, responsibilities. Sex is one of the only places where he gets to let go. And fantasy? That's the door. That's the moment where reality blurs just enough that he feels fully alive, fully present, fully free. Now, some fantasies are playful, like the nurse, the librarian, the oops, I forgot my pants kind of thing. Others are about setting, like the beach, the balcony, the we might get caught thrill. But here's the key, it's not about acting, it's about energy. When a woman steps into a fantasy with her man, even if it's a tiny one, she's saying, I'm safe with you, I trust you, and I want to have fun with you. That hits a man deep. It's not just sexy, it's bonding. I heard about this one couple who, no lie, role-played that she was his college crush who finally gave him a shot. It wasn't even about the costume or the lines, it was the permission to step outside the roles they play every day. Husband, wife, boss, mom, scheduler of dental appointments. They got to play. And that's the underrated beauty of fantasy. It reconnects you to play, to creativity. It says, hey, we're more than just partners. We're still curious about each other. Here's the other thing. When a man shares a fantasy, even a small one, he's showing you a part of himself that he doesn't show anyone else. That's vulnerability in disguise. The worst thing you can do in that moment is laugh or shame it. You don't have to say yes to everything, but you do want to keep the door open. Be curious. Ask questions. Make it safe for him to want around you, and it goes both ways. Your fantasy matters too. Most guys will move mountains if you open that door and say, hey, I've always wanted to try this thing. You're not just lighting him up, you're inviting him in. So whether it's a new outfit, a new story, or just a new way of looking at each other, fantasy isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about remembering all the different parts of who you already are, and bringing those into the bedroom with courage and curiosity. Secret 4. Intensity. All right, this one right here. This is the secret sauce. The fourth factor that makes sex unforgettable for a man is intensity. And no, I'm not talking about swinging from chandeliers or lighting candles in a thunderstorm. I'm talking about emotional intensity, the presence, the way you let yourself feel it and show it. Here's something a lot of women don't realize. Men don't just want to have sex. They want to feel like we're having sex with someone who's into it with them. That's the real turn-on. That's the difference between meh and mind-blowing. Men are wired to want to achieve, to make an impact, to do a good job. That shows up in the bedroom too. When they're with you, they're not just focused on their own pleasure. They're watching, listening, tracking your experience. And when you're fully into it, moaning, breathing deep, clutching the sheets, saying their name, that's the moment when they feel like, yeah, I did that. But when a man is with a woman who's holding back, or checked out, or doing the silent stare at the ceiling, it messes with him. Seriously, it's like driving through a tunnel with no lights. They're asking, is she enjoying this? Is she okay? Am I failing right now? It's not just awkward, it's painful. I call it the dead fish effect. You don't move, don't respond, don't react. And listen, no man walks away from that going, wow, I feel so connected to her. Nah, he's wondering what went wrong. But when you're in it, really in it, your body tells the story, your voice, your breath, your movement, all of it sends one message. I'm alive, I'm feeling this, and I want this moment with you. And that's everything. Intensity doesn't mean loud or dramatic, it means present. It means being willing to show your pleasure. to let go of judgment, to stop worrying about what you look like, or whether your stomach is flat, or if the neighbor can hear. It's about dropping in, the curled toes, the deep sighs, the eye contact that doesn't break. That's what stays with a man long after the moment's over. That's what makes him replay it in his head while he's driving the next day. It's not just the act, it's the energy of it. So if you want to know what makes sex unforgettable for your man, show him how much you enjoy it. Let your body speak. Give yourself permission to be fully seen. Because when you let go, when you really let him feel you feeling it, that's when sex becomes more than physical. That's when it becomes electric. So let's bring this home. What do men actually consider great sex? It's not about being perfect. It's not about being wild. It's not about doing what you saw in a movie or read in a magazine. It's about frequency. The feeling that he's wanted, desired, chosen. It's about variety. The little twists that keep it exciting and fresh. It's about fantasy, the freedom to explore new sides of yourselves together, and it's about intensity, that emotional, physical presence that says, I'm here, I want this, I want you. When those four things show up, sex becomes something bigger. It becomes a space of connection, of expression, of deep trust. And for a man who loves you, that's everything. So now I want to hear from you. What does great sex look like for you? What makes you feel alive, connected, and deeply desired? Drop it in the comments below. Start the conversation. If this video gave you something to think about, or made you laugh, or made you text your man just now, share it with a friend. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because we've got way more real talk coming your way. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and never stop learning what turns both of you on.